Welcome to our session on Spikenard. Now, this beautiful essential oil for me is incredibly peppery. I don't get that, I don't see that on a lot of the aromatic profiles, but that's how it is for me. And also incredibly woody. Spikenard comes from the Valerian family and is native to high altitude regions in the Himalayas. doTERRA's Spikenard is sourced in Nepal, and their producers are paid beyond fair trade wages and year-round, which is relatively unheard of in the essential oil industry. This is a very grounding and calming plant. It is made from the roots of the plant, and very often you'll find that the part of the plant that it is produced from will have intuitive properties like that. It's been used in Ayurvedic practices in India for centuries, and of course has made a few appearances in the Bible. It was traditionally used to anoint people of high honor. So very, very special oil. Interestingly, probably not a coincidence, Spikenard's chemistry is similar to frankincense, except that Spikenard's chemistry is much more diverse, has 170 compounds or constituents in this essential oil. However, 95% of them are present in an amount less than 1%. So with a very diverse chemistry like that, you'll often find that the oil can be used for an array of purposes. However, because most of those compounds are present in such small amounts, the few targeted uses that it has, it's probably going to work very, very good for, or that the main uses that it has, it's likely to work and be very powerful for. An essential oil can have up to 1,000 compounds within it. So the interesting thing about Spikenard's chemistry is that almost every single class of essential oil components are represented in this oil. So sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, aldehydes, ketones, oxides, did I say esters? I think so. Alcohols. But the majority of its chemistry is made up by sesquiterpenes, jadamansone, which is a ketone and very stabilizing, and gurginine. Now, sesquiterpenes interact with the protein structures of our cells, so they can affect protein activity. Unlike monoterpenes, which are smaller and can slip more easily inside the cell. The main properties of spikenard are that it's a tonic, which means that it's generally restorative. It's a laxative, sedative, antispasmodic, so good for muscle spasms, antibacterial as are most essential oils, antifungal as are most essential oils, anti-inflammatory, and can be used as a deodorant. That one I'm going to try. So spikenard is beautiful for lifting our mood and promoting relaxation. You can diffuse it for those purposes, as well as when you're meditating. You can put it on the bottoms of your feet or diffuse it. It's also very clarifying for both the emotions and the skin. So for our emotions, it can really help to steady our nerves. So think of like a rocking boat moving to steady ground or steady seas. Beautiful to support our transition from feeling agitated into a more tranquil space, and really wonderful ally in overcoming persistent emotional blocks. It's also a really beautiful support for people preparing to transition from this plane. And as I said, cleansing to the skin as well, cleansing and purifying. So it can calm irritated skin. You can add it to your regular skincare products. Just add a drop when you're applying them. It supports a healthy, glowing complexion and is actually often used in perfumes and massage oils. It was said to be the Romans' favorite perfume. As I mentioned, muscle spasms, and can also support sleep. So can be particularly useful for people with insomnia. doTERRA's oil can be applied aromatically, so in the diffuser, or as you've seen me do throughout the video, just having it on your hands and taking a few deep breaths in. Aromatically is the fastest way to support our body system. So within 15 to 20 seconds, it's already started to alter our brain chemistry and affect our body. Topical is the most long-term support. So Fun little trick, if you take a really high quality peppermint essential oil and you put it on the bottoms of your feet, within a few minutes you can actually taste the peppermint in your mouth. So within 2 minutes, the oils have traveled through your body. Now the feet are particular in their use or in their application because your pores are larger there, so things absorb more quickly, which is why essential oils are often applied to the feet. Now, depending on what you're using it for, if you want a slower sustained use or a slower sustained absorption, then you want to mix the essential oil with a carrier oil like jojoba or liquid coconut oil first, and that will slow the absorption. But if you want to support a faster absorption, you can actually apply it neat. Now, doTERRA's Spikenard can be applied neat, which means without a carrier oil. Now, of course, you do want to be mindful if you have sensitive skin. Okay, so you have to know your own tolerance and sensitivity levels. For me, it's not an issue. But also you want to avoid sustained use in the same area. So you don't want to be applying Spikenard to the back of your neck neat every single day. You can start to develop a sensitivity, and I actually did that with peppermint. So you want to be very, very careful with that. What else? What else? Oh, and then internal. So some of doTERRA's oils can be used internally, and this is of course the most potent use, but Spikenard is not for internal use. So now you've noticed I've touched the top of the bottle a lot. I just want you to be really mindful that I'm not touching the top. So we don't want to contaminate our essential oil bottles. doTERRA goes through a lot of processes to make sure these oils are extremely pure. And so you never want to, a lot of people will do this. They'll take the bottle and they'll have their finger on the top and they'll use it that way. You really want to avoid applying your essential oil that way. So, but what I do like to do is I do like to use the sides and wipe it from the side, because there's always oil that gets in the lid. And then, you know, I just like to use as much of it as I can. And it's a great way to use your oils conservatively and have a small amount. So hope that's helpful. That's Spikenard essential oil, and enjoy this beautiful, magical wonder.